The judge in the Bart shooting trial made a critical ruling today that may have a dramatic effect on the outcome.
Johannes Mehserle will not face a first-degree murder charge. The judge said today there is not enough evidence to show the shooting death of Oscar Grant was premeditated. Therefore, jurors will be instructed not to consider first-degree murder. ABC 7's Cecilia Vega is live in Los Angeles with the ruling, and Cecilia, the implications of it.
Well, that's right, Dan. In tossing out that first-degree murder possibility, the judge opened up the door for less serious charges to be considered. That does include second-degree murder as well as involuntary or voluntary manslaughter. Now, the range in terms of conviction in those charges could mean anywhere from decades behind bars to just probation. If convicted, Johannes Mehserle would be the first police officer in California to be found guilty of murder for an on-duty shooting, and he could go to jail for a very long time. Judge Robert Perry said the 12 jurors deciding the former BART officer's fate can consider charges as serious as second-degree murder down to involuntary manslaughter. Second-degree murder carries a sentence of 15 years to life. A gun enhancement could add 25 years, making it 40 years to life. Voluntary manslaughter, 3 to 11 years. For involuntary manslaughter, 2 to 4 years. As for the minimum, if Mehserle is convicted of involuntary manslaughter, he could be sentenced to probation.
To me, for involuntary manslaughter to become the verdict is saying to the public and the community and the world that an officer can kill and yet just get probation.
The judge rejected defense attorney Michael Raines' motion to drop all charges based on a lack of evidence. Raines also wanted jurors to consider just the second-degree murder charge or an acquittal, an all-or-nothing tactic. That, too, was denied. ABC 7 legal analyst Dean Johnson says a manslaughter conviction is a likely possibility.
For two reasons. First of all, that's what best fits his conduct. And secondly, if there are jurors on either extreme, for murder or acquittal, this is a good compromise that would bring all 12 jurors around to agreeing on a verdict.
As the verdict now seems closer than ever, Grant's family is pleading for peace.
We also recognize that there are elements within our community that are so angry to the injustice that they're willing to take laws in their own hands. We don't condone that. We don't want no one hurt.
Well, we know that many Bay Area communities are preparing for this verdict today. We found out that Los Angeles is getting ready as well. We learned that police may end up shutting down many streets here in this very busy downtown corridor outside of this courthouse because they are expecting protests here in LA the day of the verdict as well. Now, tomorrow the lawyers in the case will make their closing arguments, and the judge could hand over those jury instructions to the jury for deliberation as soon as tomorrow, if not on Friday. Today, Judge Robert Perry expressed concern about just what a complicated task the jurors will have before them in deciding this case. Those deliberation instructions are at least 12 pages, and the judge in open court today expressed concern about the complexity they have to deal with. Now, reporting in Los Angeles, Cecilia Vega, ABC 7 News.
All right, Cecilia, thanks very much. Well, there's concern in Oakland tonight that reaction to a verdict in the Mehserle case could turn destructive or even violent. The mayor already issued an alert to the community. And today, a group of Black Council members and ministers issued this open letter asking people to, quote, work with us to shut down anyone who would engage in destructive behavior in our community. We're also asking that you work with us as we continue to demand justice for Oscar. And just in case some people don't get that message, police, fire, and BART all began gearing up today. And Wayne Friedman joins us now from Oakland at the Fruitvale BART station with more. Wayne?
Cheryl, this is truly a case of hoping for the best, but fearing and preparing for the worst. We all remember the problems in Oakland after the initial shooting. No one who owns businesses or who lives here wants to see that happen again. With that in mind, the Oakland police have increased their strength by going on 12-hour shifts. In advance of the verdict, they've set up a massive staging area near the Port of Oakland. It includes communications vehicles on loan from agencies as far away as Fremont and San Ramon. And in the Fruitvale district, small business people and others are not taking any chances. At a health clinic, they plan to use plywood to board up the windows. They've already done so. And after the verdict, they plan to close completely. Here is Tracy Mendez, who runs the clinic.
That in order to prevent or mitigate any possible harm to our staff and our patients, that we should really leave this area on the day of the verdict and close down our building and move out of the area. So that's what we're planning to do. And
Whatever the verdict, Oakland leaders are anticipating some kind of reaction, and certainly with that reaction, a disruption. It's worth noting that after the riots in 2009, there were 4 businesses along 17th Street that closed due to losses from those riots. No one along that street wants to see a repeat of that happening again. From Oakland, Wayne Friedman, ABC 7 News.
Wayne, thanks very much. And stay with ABC 7 News and ABC7News.com for all the developments in the Bart shooting trial. We'll have live reaction from Los Angeles and here in the Bay Area the moment the verdict comes down.